Stop, don't skip this, don't click away. For the next few minutes, give me your undivided attention. Now, listen closely. Can you hear that sound? It's not in your ears, it's in the air. It's the faint cracking sound of a century-old promise breaking. The promise that you could work for 40 years, get a gold watch, a pension, and live comfortably ever after. That world is gone, vanished, replaced by a landscape of uncertainty, inflation that eats away at your savings like a silent thief, and a system that feels rigged against the average person. You feel it every day, don't you? The ground is not just shifting beneath the world of retirement savings, it's a full-blown seismic event. But in the middle of this earthquake, a fissure is opening up. Not one of chaos, but one of immense opportunity. A new chapter is beginning and you are standing at the very first page. The year 2025 is not just another flip of the calendar. It is a line in the sand. It is the year you stop playing a game with rules designed for you to lose, and start playing a new one you can win. This new game offers a monumental opportunity. A chance to secure a future that is not just comfortable but completely and utterly tax-free. Now let that phrase sink in. Tax-free. Think about what that truly means. Imagine you've saved $1 million for retirement. In a traditional 401k or IRA, when you go to withdraw that money, you could lose 20, 30, or even 40% of it to taxes. Your $1 million is suddenly only $700,000. But in the world we're about to enter, $1 million is $1 million. Every single penny is yours. That is the power we are talking about. This is not a dream, this is not a gimmick or some loophole that will be closed tomorrow. This is the new reality of retirement, made possible by a powerful tool that is getting a major upgrade. It's called the $7,000 Roth Blueprint for 2025. A blueprint is not a vague idea, it's a detailed plan of action. And the $7,000 figure? That is the key that unlocks the door to this new reality. You need to pay attention, because what you learn today could fundamentally alter the trajectory of your financial life forever. This isn't just about having more money, it's about what that money provides. Freedom from waking up at 3 a.m. worried about bills. The ability to retire on your terms, not when someone else tells you to. The power to travel, to pursue passions, to help your children, to leave a legacy of security, not stress. Now I know what you might be thinking. This sounds great, but it's probably not for me. That's the first myth we need to shatter. This isn't some far-fetched fantasy reserved for the ultra-wealthy or financial wizards on Wall Street. This is a power that the United States Congress has intentionally given to you, the everyday American, through the Roth IRA. But it's a power that is tragically underutilized because of misinformation. People think you need to be a stock-picking genius. You don't. They think you need a six-figure salary to even start. You don't. They think it's too complicated. It's not, if you have the right guide. And in 2025, that power is getting a significant government-mandated upgrade. Due to inflation adjustments, the annual contribution limits for the Roth IRA are rising. This isn't just a small tweak, it's a meaningful increase that opens the door for you to shelter even more of your hard-earned money from all future taxes. Every extra dollar you can contribute now is a dollar that can grow and compound for decades, completely shielded from the IRS. Think of it as adding more fuel to a rocket ship. This increase gives your retirement savings more thrust than ever before. We are talking about the potential to accumulate hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even millions that the government can never, ever touch. It's like planting an orchard in a tax-free sovereign nation. You plant the seeds with your after-tax contributions. You watch the trees grow, year after year, bearing more and more fruit through compound growth. And when it's time to harvest in retirement, you own the entire orchard and every piece of fruit it produces. There's no tax collector waiting at the gate, it's all yours. And this blueprint is for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're 25-year-old Alex, just starting your career with student loans and a tight budget. For you, time is your superpower. Even small, consistent contributions of $50 or $100 a month can explode into a massive tax-free nest egg over 40 years, thanks to the miracle of compounding. Or maybe you're 55-year-old Sarah in your peak earning years, worried you haven't saved enough. For you, the increased contribution limits plus special catch-up provisions allow you to supercharge your savings in the final stretch, creating a formidable tax-free fund in a relatively short period. The principles are the same, but the strategy is tailored to your stage in life. This is a blueprint for your financial freedom. And over the course of this video, I am going to walk you through every single step. We will break it all down into a simple, actionable plan. We'll cover exactly how to open a Roth IRA account in under 10 minutes. We'll demystify investing, showing you simple, low-cost options that are perfect for beginners. We will show you how to automate the entire process so your wealth builds on autopilot. And crucially, we will expose the common mistakes and hidden fees that sabotage most people's efforts, ensuring you stay on the path to success. The knowledge is here, the opportunity is now. The only remaining question is, are you ready to seize it? Let's begin. Let's talk numbers, because numbers don't lie. For 2025, the IRS is allowing you to contribute up to $7,000 to a Roth IRA. If you are age 50 or over, that number jumps to $8,000 thanks to the catch-up contribution. The reason for this change is a word we have all come to feel in our daily lives: inflation. The IRS understands that if the limits stayed the same, your ability to save would actually decrease. So the IRS performs an annual review and makes cost of living adjustments to keep your purchasing power protected. Let me show you the power of this. Imagine you are 45 years old, and you commit to investing that full $7,000 every single year for the next 20 years. At a modest 7% average annual return, the total would be approximately $294,000. The remaining $154,000 is pure growth. And how much tax do you owe on that growth? Zero. Nothing. Not one single penny. By understanding the rules for 2025 and taking decisive action, you are not just saving for your future, you are fundamentally changing its trajectory. To truly appreciate the power of a Roth IRA, we first need to understand its older, more established counterpart, the traditional IRA. Think of the traditional IRA as a strategy of pay later. When you contribute money to a traditional IRA, you often get an immediate reward, a tax deduction. This means the amount you contribute can be subtracted from your total income for the year, lowering your tax bill. For example, if you're in the 22% tax bracket and contribute $5,000, you could save $1,100 on this year's taxes. It feels great in the short term. However, this is tax, not tax elimination. The trade-off comes in retirement. When you start withdrawing money from your traditional IRA, every single dollar, both your original contributions and all the investment growth, is treated as ordinary income and taxed at whatever your tax rate is at that time. You're deferring the tax bill to your future self. Now enter the Roth IRA, the patient sibling in the retirement family. The Roth flips the script entirely. It's a pay-now strategy. You contribute with post-tax dollars, meaning you've already paid income tax on that money, so there's no upfront tax deduction. You're planting a small seed that has already been taxed. But here is where the magic happens. As that seed grows into a magnificent financial tree, every bit of growth, every dividend, every bit of interest, every capital gain grows completely, 100% tax-free. When you reach retirement and are eligible for a qualified withdrawal, you can harvest the entire tree, trunk, and fruit without paying a single cent in taxes to the government. This provides incredible peace of mind, especially if you believe tax rates might be higher in the future. It's not just about saving on taxes, it's about creating a pool of money in retirement that is truly and completely yours, with no future tax liabilities attached. So, who is eligible to plant this powerful seed? The Roth IRA was designed to help low and middle-income Americans save for retirement, so the government sets income limits on who can contribute directly. It's crucial to remember that these numbers change almost every year due to inflation adjustments, so always check the official IRS website for the current year's figures. For the tax year 2025, if you're a single filer, your eligibility begins to phase out if your modified adjusted gross income, or MAGI, is between $146,000 and $161,000. A phase-out doesn't mean you can't contribute at all. It means the maximum amount you can contribute is reduced. Once your income exceeds $161,000, you cannot contribute directly. For those who are married and file their taxes jointly, that phase-out range for 2025 is much higher, sitting between $230,000 and $240,000. If your joint income is above that upper limit, direct contributions are off the table. But what if you're a high-income earner? Is the Roth door completely closed? Not necessarily. There's a well-known strategy called the Backdoor Roth IRA. It involves contributing to a traditional IRA, which has no income limit for contributions, and then promptly converting that money into a Roth IRA. While there are rules and potential tax implications to navigate, it's a powerful workaround that allows high earners to access the same tax-free growth. Let's make this tangible with an example. Meet Sarah, a 28-year-old graphic designer earning $60,000 a year. She's ambitious and expects her salary to grow significantly over her career. Right now, she's in a relatively low federal tax bracket, say 22%. This is likely the lowest tax rate she'll face in her working life. For Sarah, the Roth IRA is a perfect fit. By contributing now, she's choosing to pay taxes at her current, lower 22% rate. Let's say she contributes the maximum amount each year. Over the next 35 years, that money could compound into a substantial nest egg. When she retires, her income might place her in a 32% or higher tax bracket. But because she used a Roth, she can withdraw her hundreds of thousands or even over $1 million of accumulated wealth completely tax-free, saving herself a fortune compared to if she had used a traditional IRA and had to pay taxes at that higher future rate. It's a strategic bet on her own future success. Now for a critical and often misunderstood piece of the puzzle, the rules for accessing your money. The most famous is the 5-year rule. To withdraw your tax-free, your Roth IRA must have been open for at least 5 tax years. This clock starts on January 1st of the year you made your very first contribution to Roth IRA. This is a powerful, actionable tip. Even if you can only spare $20, opening an account and making that first contribution starts that 5-year clock permanently. You only have to satisfy it once for all of your Roth IRAs. But that's not the only rule. To get those earnings tax-free, you must be at least 59.5 years old. So the golden ticket to tax-free earnings is a combination. Account open for 5+ years, and you are 59.5. However, one of the Roth IRA's most incredible features is its flexibility. You can withdraw your direct contributions, the money you personally put in, at any time for any reason, completely tax-free and penalty-free. The IRS sees it as you simply taking your own money back. This makes a Roth IRA a uniquely flexible vehicle that can double as an emergency fund if absolutely necessary. In our last chapter, we explored the incredible power of the Roth IRA, tax-free growth and most importantly, tax-free withdrawals in retirement. It's a cornerstone of savvy financial planning. But what happens if you've worked hard, climbed the career ladder, and now find your income is above the government-mandated limits for direct contributions? Does the door to this financial powerhouse slam shut in your face? For many high-income earners, this is a frustrating reality. Do you just give up on the dream of a tax-free retirement account? Absolutely not. Because as any smart person knows, when the front door is locked, you don't walk away. You look for another way in. This isn't about finding a sketchy gray area loophole. This is about using a well-established, IRS-acknowledged strategy to achieve your financial goals. There is another way, and it's called the Backdoor Roth IRA. It is a perfectly legal 2-step process that allows high-income earners to bypass the income restrictions and enjoy the same profound benefits of tax-free growth as everyone else. Think of it less as a secret passage and more as a planned, alternate entrance that requires you to follow the instructions carefully. By understanding this strategy, you're not just saving for retirement. You're taking active control of your future tax burden, which could save you tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars over the long term. So let's walk through the blueprint of the Backdoor Roth IRA step by step. Let's break it down. Step 1. You must open a new traditional IRA account. It is absolutely crucial that this is a traditional IRA, not a Roth IRA. The entire strategy hinges on moving money from a traditional account to a Roth account. You can open this account at any major brokerage firm, and it typically takes just a few minutes online. The key here is that you are opening this account specifically for the purpose of this strategy. Even if you have other retirement accounts like a 401k, you will still need this specific type of account to serve as the temporary holding bay for your funds. Step 2. Fund the account. You will make a non-deductible contribution to your new traditional IRA. This means you are funding it with after-tax dollars, money that you've already paid income tax on. The amount you can contribute is subject to the annual IRA contribution limits. For 2024, that's $7,000, or $8,000 if you're age 50 or older. Because your income is too high to qualify for a tax deduction on a traditional IRA contribution, you are not getting any upfront tax break for this money. This is a critical point. You are intentionally making a non-deductible contribution, and we'll see why that's so important in a moment. A pro tip: once the money is in the account, let it sit as cash. Don't invest it just yet. Step 3 is the main event. the conversion. After your contribution is fully settled in the traditional IRA, which usually takes a few business days, you will then instruct your brokerage to convert the entire balance to a Roth IRA. This is the backdoor part of the strategy. You are moving the after-tax money from the traditional IRA container into the Roth IRA container. Most brokerages make this incredibly simple. Often it's just a few clicks on their website. By waiting for the funds to settle and not investing them, you avoid converting any investment gains, which would be taxable. You want to convert the exact original after-tax amount. The final step is arguably the most important for avoiding tax headaches, and it happens when you file your taxes for the year. You must report this series of transactions to the IRS using Form 8606 non-deductible IRAs. This is absolutely essential. This form is your official communication to the IRS. Part 1 of the form tells them, hey, I made a non-deductible contribution of X dollars. This establishes your after-tax basis. Part 2 of the form reports the conversion to the Roth IRA. By filing this form, you are creating a clear paper trail that proves the money you converted was already taxed, and therefore the conversion itself is not a taxable event. Forgetting this step can lead the IRS to assume it was a traditional pre-tax conversion, sending you an unexpected and unnecessary tax bill. Now, before you rush to open an account, we have to discuss a serious warning. The one major trap that can completely derail this strategy is called the pro rata rule. Pro rata simply means in proportion. This rule comes into play if you have any other pre-existing traditional IRA accounts with pre-tax money in them. This includes SEP IRAs and simple IRAs, but not 401(k)s or Roth IRAs. For the purposes of this calculation, the IRS looks at all of your pre-tax IRA money as one giant single account. They aggregate everything. This is where people get into trouble. Let's run through an example to see how this can be a disaster. Imagine you have an old rollover IRA with $93,000 of pre-tax money in it. You then follow our steps and contribute a new $7,000 of after-tax money to a separate traditional IRA. The IRS aggregation rule says your total IRA balance is now $100,000. Of that total, 93% is pre-tax money, and only 7% is the new after-tax money. Therefore, when you go to convert that $7,000, the IRS says that 93% of that conversion, or $6,510, is taxable at your ordinary income tax rate. This completely defeats the purpose of the strategy, which is to get after-tax money into a Roth without a tax hit. So, the strategy works most cleanly for people with a zero balance across all traditional SEP and simple IRAs. Let's create a case study. Meet David. He earns $200,000, so he's phased out of direct Roth contributions. He diligently maxes out his 401(k) at work, but he has never opened any type of IRA before. This makes him a perfect candidate. The pro rata rule is a non-issue. David opens a new traditional IRA, contributes $7,000, waits a few days, and converts the full amount to a Roth IRA. When he files his taxes, Form 8606 shows he contributed $7,000 in after-tax money and converted $7,000. His taxable amount? Zero. He successfully moved the full amount into his Roth to grow tax-free forever. But what if you're not David? What if you have that pre-existing IRA balance? Is there a fix? Often, yes. Many 401(k) plans allow you to roll existing IRA money the 401(k). This is called a reverse rollover. By moving your pre-tax IRA funds into your workplace 401(k), you can zero out your IRA balance and then execute the backdoor Roth strategy cleanly. It's an extra step, but for many, it's the key that unlocks this powerful retirement tool. Congratulations! You have funded your Roth IRA. But simply having money in the account is not enough. You must put that money to work. Your Roth IRA is an investment account. The key is asset allocation. We will look at 3 models. An aggressive portfolio, 80% stocks, is for the young with a long time horizon. A moderate portfolio, 60-40, balances growth and stability. A conservative portfolio, 40-60, prioritizes protecting your principal. With an aggressive portfolio, if you invest $7,000 per year for 30 years and earn an average of 9%, your Roth IRA could grow to over $1 million, completely tax-free. With a more balanced, moderate approach, that same investment earning a slightly more conservative 8% would still become an incredible $861,000. As you near retirement, a conservative portfolio protects your principal. The goal isn't to hit a home run, it's to ensure you never strike out, providing a durable, all-weather retirement income plan. The most important strategy of all is to stay the course. Create a solid, diversified, low-cost plan, and then have the discipline to stick with it through thick and thin. Let's clear the air. The first and biggest myth: a Roth IRA is only good if my tax rate is lower in retirement. This is flawed. Would you rather pay 22% on a $7,000 contribution, or 22% on a $500,000 withdrawal? You want to pay tax on the smallest amount possible. Another dangerous myth: the government can just change the laws and take away my tax-free advantage. To retroactively tax existing Roth accounts would be a fundamental betrayal of trust for millions of savers. The likelihood is extremely low. And a final myth: I can't touch it until retirement. You can withdraw your direct contributions at any time for any reason, without taxes or penalties. This makes it an incredibly flexible account. The time for learning is over. Now is the time for action. The very first step is to confirm your eligibility. Get a realistic estimate of your income for 2025. Once you know your income, choose your path. Are you Team Direct or Team Backdoor? Decide now. Your mission is the $583 monthly mission. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account right after you get paid. This is paying yourself first. Putting money in the account is half the battle. You must invest it. Choose a handful of low-cost diversified index funds that match your desired asset allocation. Schedule an annual financial checkup. Rebalance your portfolio back to its target, and look up the new contribution limits for the following year to stay on top of your game. We have come to the end of our journey, but yours is just beginning. The promise of the Roth IRA is this: if you have the discipline to pay taxes on the small seed today, you will get to keep the entire harvest for yourself tomorrow. The power to fundamentally change your financial future belongs to you. It is found in the small, consistent decisions you make every single day. So go out there and claim the future you deserve. Start your Roth IRA today, because your future self is not just going to thank you. They are going to look back at this moment as the turning point that made all the difference.